a family of 4 served to one fat guy in Idaho.
What chicken did you have?
Rosars.
Just the breasts and pieces?
8-piece, man.
Yeah.
8-piece meal right now. They had a deal up there. 8-piece meal, 2 sides, the rolls, those Hawaiian rolls.
Oh,
$10.99.
I love those. Those are my favorite rolls.
They're so good.
Yeah, I'm just like
But here's the thing with the fasting though. I had that big old dinner.
Let's start. Wait. Let's start.
I don't feel that bad.
Oh, you're gonna put me on the spot just like that?
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Listen up, assholes.
Hold on. You gotta have music, man.
No, that's how I always start.
Oh,
That's
okay.
how I get my radio voice
I got you.
primed.
Optimus primed.
I hope I don't fuck this up.
Not too much echo.
I got this.
Do you?
I don't need it. Oh, that's just a little bit echo.
I like a little bit.
It makes my gives me some stirrings downstairs.
I feel like Microsoft Sam is doing it.
Oh, Sam. He doesn't get enough credit.
He really doesn't.
All right.
Here you go, Edwardo.
Here comes the what? Whoop whoop. Ching.
Making me cheat.
Thanks for cheating for me.
Live from Studio Edwardo's shop, where there's also an abundance of tools. I mean, like screwdrivers and hammers. I mean, I'm hammered? Am I hammered? But we're definitely not tools. We don't have any screwdriver strength, though, because Edwardo is a terrible host. He might be a tool. It's the Time Spent Poorly show with Derek and Edwardo. He's probably a tool. Tonight, we welcome Peter Brill. Learn more about your host and me, the Beard, at tspn.fun. Now, without a bunch more bullshit, here's Derek and Edwardo, whom is definitely a tool.
That's
Hi.
You wrote that about yourself.
I did.
That's fun.
I do self-deprecating things.
You do. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show.
Hey. Welcome, Peter.
Hello.
So you
Good
took
evening.
a tech hiatus, and now you're like, I'm back.
I'm
tech.
sharing the thing.
Oh.
I'm sharing the thing. I want people to know.
Life,
It's not enough that I'm
back
participating.
to
I want people to see me
reality.
participate.
He is the
Right.
best guest since I've been showing up. Took 5 seconds.
Oh.
Nobody else shares. I don't even share.
Oh. Sharing on social. You
Sharing
should
is
share.
caring.
I'd have to get on your Wi-Fi again.
We are newly available on iHeartRadio, and we have to say that on every show because that is absolutely a must.
What's?
Yes. Do you know how huge
But
podcasts on
if they're
iHeartRadio
listening
is?
on iHeartRadio,
I didn't even know they had podcasts.
They already know. You already
there's
know.
people who listen
that
to it
you're-
live right
because
now,
if they're
though.
listening to it on iHeartRadio, they're like, I know. I'm listening to it on iHeartRadio.
Holy shit.
I know. You know what? You're right. I'll go
So
ahead.
meta.
I'll tweet Dan Patrick tomorrow and let him know when he announces that it's on iHeartRadio that he's a fucking
It
moron.
only took like 4 months. Yeah, tell him so.
I will. I'll be like, my co-host of my shitty podcast says that you're an idiot because you tell the people how to find your show. You know, you tell all of your millions of listeners how to find your show.
Don't at me.
You fucking moron, Dan Patrick. You've only been doing this for a couple decades.
Dude, tell him so.
I will.
Okay.
I'll let him know. I'll at you on it.
Yeah, at me in the tweet.
No, I'm not doing that.
I thought our iHeartRadio was malware or something. It just came on my TV and it always.
It is also
auto-starts.
that. Download it now to listen to our show. No, this is actually a huge thing, though. Seriously. With sports program being on there especially, all of the Fox Sports shows and ESPN sports shows are all on iHeartRadio.
Right. Well,
And now we're on there as well.
You know, I submitted that like 4 months ago and just got the email 2 days ago
I know.
telling me that it's been accepted to iHeartRadio.
That's
Wow.
that's
Which
good.
means there's like one person working the email folder.
There might be a lot, but
Or-
it's
or
a
they
big
did-
thing.
Or they did due
iHeartRadio.
diligence, and they thought we were so cool.
They're like, well,
They listened
we
to
only-
5 seconds of one episode. They were like, eh.
Yeah,
It's
Fine.
not that.
You can be on the
offensive.
platform, I guess.
I guess.
we're also on Spotify and Stitcher.
They were probably like, I'm going to put this shitty network on here. Do you dare me?
You dare me.
Do you fucking dare me?
I double dog fucking dare you.
Do you dare me to do it?
Hey, I want to do this right now
Yeah,
before
do
I
it.
forget. Peter brought us a gift. We had the smiley face
I
up
love
there.
this.
It's been taken down for a while, but this is a TSPN logo painted
Love it.
on
DirecTV dish.
On a DirecTV dish.
You have to hang it up now.
The
Yeah, it's
DirecTV
gotta get hung
dish
up.
did not belong to me, but
Oh, it's stolen
I
property.
guess it's
Can anyone
good luck getting it back now.
Can anyone ever own a DirecTV dish, Peter?
I don't know.
They're like
They
horses.
left it on the house.
way to Pullman owns like 70 of them.
I love that. I love that everywhere I've ever moved, they'll be like, "Oh, there's a dish on the thing." I'll call and start a dish, and then I call the company, and they're like, "All right, we'll be out on Monday to install a dish." And I'm like, "Oh no, you don't have to do that. There's already a DirecTV dish out here."
we need a
And
new
they're like,
one.
No. We like to make a family of dishes out there.
And they won't take the old one with
They
them.
do
No.
not do it.
They're
They're
like,
Well,
nice,
because
aren't
the installer
They
put holes in the
absolutely-
roof.
Right,
You take those
we can't
bolts
take
out,
those out.
and then you got to leak.
Uh-huh.
I can't take those out.
I didn't even take it down gracefully. I literally like snipped it with shears, and it just went kerplunk. And
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "Oh, there we go."
That's fun.
All
There's
set.
one right out front of my house now. Now I'm gonna take it and paint it.
Are you?
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
You should.
I'm gonna do one better than Peter though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not going to be very hard.
That's such a
The clock has to be
I'm
dick, right?
fucking. That took 30 seconds to give the most backhanded.
No, I love it, actually. I think
It's very awesome. Thank you, Peter.
It was a rush job,
Was it?
kinda.
He had to get it done for today.
Yeah, I had to get it done for
No,
today.
did you do it today?
And he
Yeah.
seriously
Do it
started like
today?
15
And I
minutes
finished.
ago.
I finished my like Coheed
That's
rock.
why there's paint all over my.
I'm painting a set of rocks for like all the Coheed albums, and
Oh,
I have
nice.
one for the Second Stage Turbine Blade. And today I finished In Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth.
That's awesome.
I'm real happy of it.
And you're not a virgin.
No,
He
no,
actually lives with a female.
Yeah.
I can attest to that.
long-term
I'm
relationship.
kidding. I love Coheed too. It was just the jokes.
But eventually, we want to have all the different albums and rocks and have them like leading up to our house
that's pretty
along the
rad.
I
walkway.
can't wait to deliver their Amazon packages. I'm so psyched now.
Of
Yeah.
more Coheed memorabilia.
Fuck.
Hell yeah,
Hell yeah.
they're a good band.
Yeah.
They are. I agree.
See,
I
I
agree with
don't. I've never listened to them very much, but I've heard they're good. Have you listened to them, Rick?
Of course, I've listened to everything.
Really?
You like Coheed?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Your
I
stock
really like
just.
them on rock,
You ever play The Sims? I just saw a little like
really
friendship level go ding up
Oh.
one. You just got a point, friend.
Oh, and talking backyard stuff with you, that was lots of points.
Yeah.
And interesting
Definitely.
that you guys mentioned The Sims because I got a boner. So
Oh man.
from you talking about The Sims,
What's up? What was that?
got a boner from it.
Oh, all right. Like
Talking about the Sims.
I love The Sims that much.
Really?
It's, you're not gonna ever be able to see that boner.
Sims
like a-
came out after WoW,
It's like
right?
a baby
I wear
dick.
very low.
So all I did was play WoW. I didn't play anything else.
no, the original The Sims came out much before. The Sims
Oh,
has been
that's- yeah.
around for eons.
For old, the
Yeah.
original Sims is way out before.
Like
World of
Windows
Warcraft.
XP 2 years into
I
its
had
release.
I had the original Sims. I
Yeah.
think.
My sister
And it
my
hasn't changed
mom-
too much. Just
No,
the graphics
really.
have gotten a lot better.
My sister and my mom are huge Sims people. In fact, my running theory is that The Sims is made for girls and it hit that demographic perfectly.
My sister loved it.
I honestly have yet to meet I mean, I'm sure I have met them. I have met a lot of women that have at one point played The Sims and loved that game. And played a ton. Like if I say to a girl who has never like, what are you into? I'm like, oh, I play video games and stuff. She's like, oh, I've played a game. I like The Sims.
It's
Like that's
modern
like
day
and
dollhouse.
you're like, oh, okay,
man.
cool.
I dress them, I feed them, I beat their dogs.
I
you
lock
can
somebody
do
in the
some-
basement
Yep.
and make them live down there. I put them in the pool and like an evil
All
god
these-
took
the
the ladder
All
out.
of these things. I've done all of these things.
Help, help,
I made a whole family. I built a trailer. And I made a whole family of a man and a woman and a ton of kids. And I made the man, I gave him like the wife beater and boxers. And I bought him the nicest TV in the game and the nicest chair. And the rest of it, everything else was like the lowest price thing you could have. And I made him watch that TV all day. And I made her do everything in the house. And then eventually all the kids burned alive in a freak barbecue accident. And then after they all died and you got urns and you could turn those into graves, I made her mourn their deaths until she died.
I
In
feel
a
like
trailer
this
park.
somewhere like this. You started talking about Sims and then it like shifted into like an actual story.
This is real. This
About
is
real
real
life?
life in The Sims, though.
Oh.
The Sims is
I did
serious.
this, and I was 14 years old, and I thought this was the funniest thing I could have done. to The
I
Sims.
loved it when
Something I
if
would
somebody
do.
was going to die of natural causes, if it was like an old lady that was just old, the Grim Reaper would show up and he'd ring the doorbell and she'd go answer the door and let him in. And they'd have like a moment, and sometimes the kids would come in and cry next to Grandma for a minute, and then
Yep.
she'd leave with the Grim Reaper.
That's
So
how I hope
cool.
I go.
The,
You guys-
the developers had some fun.
I'm
building
watching the
that
best
stuff.
show on TV right now, and I want to tell you all what it is.
Oh, heavens.
It's really good.
Okay.
I'm watching Chernobyl.
I've heard good things.
I have heard that's good.
It's really
I've
good.
seen none
I'm
of
waiting
it,
till
but
it's
I've
all
heard
out,
good
and
things.
I'm gonna binge it.
Yeah, I don't want
how
to
many
watch it
episodes is
week
it?
by week like a
There is
Neanderthal.
there
Fucking
is
cliffhangers.
Yeah,
only,
forget that.
There is only going to
When's
be
it going to melt down?
5 episodes.
Is it going to melt down?
There is only well, I don't want to spoil anything. Okay.
Well, obviously.
Is that
That's a
Jason?
joke because it's based on historical events.
Here on Time Spent.
Yeah, what do you want?
Hi, I'm your cousin Summer.
Oh, hey, cousin Summer.
Hey,
Screamed at her.
couple things. The Sims
Okay.
is free right now.
What's
Sims
that?
4. I
Yeah.
don't know if you said that. Sims 4 is free right now.
Oh man, I can
On
totally play The
Origin.
Sims for free. Oh, but you got to get Origin.
Yeah, but if you get it,
Fuck
it's
that.
yours.
I think it's Origin.
Okay.
It's the base game.
Thank you for letting us all know that. I think we're all gonna go get it tonight. What else? What else do you want to let us know?
You know what? So obviously, for a while I was into online gaming, and I made a lot of kind of weird friends.
Yes, you did. Okay.
So one of one of them was really into Coheed and Cambria, like really hardcore into it, like had the tattoos down his back and everything.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And there's like a comic to it,
There is. It's a great
and
comic
it's
too.
like about like children dying, and
That's the best part.
I don't know. It's like,
First
that's
one's
the
a
best
little rough,
part.
but
Yeah, like people
generally
killing
good.
their own kids to save the universe or something like that.
That's pretty close. Pretty close synopsis. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I just thought I'd call in and give my little 2 cents.
Well, thank you for letting us know that, cousin Summer.
Thank you. I told her to
All
call.
right, I'll talk to you later. Oh,
I
I'll
hope
see
to
you
see
next
you.
weekend.
I'll hope to see you soon. Yes,
weekend.
at a wedding coming up.
Yeah. At your wedding. I know,
At
I'm
my
super
wedding.
excited.
Yep.
Oh man, the wedding I didn't get invited to.
You are getting invited to it. You're
It took
invited
him like
to it.
6 months to get
Is
me
it
my
next
invite
weekend?
to it.
I'm gonna be out of town.
That's the weekend after.
The weekend after. Thanks, Summer.
All right. Yeah, bye.
I love
Summer.
you.
Love you too.
That's
Bye.
Summer. She's fantastic. That's fun.
She
stuff.
sounds fantastic.
She is.
She
She's
knows.
very cool.
She knows like surface level stuff about the Coheed comics. So
That's
I'm
pretty
into
good. That's
it,
fine.
yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah. At this point, Chernobyl's good. You guys gotta watch it.
That's more than
I don't
knew
doubt
about
it. It's
the
got a
Coheed
stellar
stuff.
cast.
It has a great cast. I mean, it's hard. It's interesting at first when you start watching it because they all have British accents. So you're like, well, that's not right. But it's okay.
Did you
I mean,
see
it's-
Enemy at the Gates? They all had British accents, and they were Russian too.
So look, you guys, the show's good, but I feel like it's a documentary about something more than Chernobyl, and I want to
I
tell
guess
you.
it would be weird for them to be speaking English with Russian accents when they're actually just supposed to be straight up speaking Russian.
Yeah.
I almost would have been okay with. Has anything had
Are they
mainstream
speaking English with
appeal
Russian accents?
that has been dubbed recently? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like the
can't
whole
think of-
thing's actually in a language. Does that really turn people off so much?
I haven't seen
English with
anything.
English accents.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Uh,
you remember Old Boy got traction, and that's not a word of English in it. They dubbed very well the whole thing.
That's true, but I thought they still thought they had to make a American one though.
Brolin version.
There's an American version
Which
of
was
it?
Josh
all right
Brolin's
because you
in
got
it.
to see Thanos pound
Is it
Scarlet Witch,
Is it
Yeah.
different?
and you got to see her boobs.
Is
No.
the like plot different?
No.
No.
It's the
Okay.
It's the only one I've watched. I didn't
It's not
watch
as
the other
good.
Oh, the Americanized one? Oh yeah, they don't. It's not as hardcore.
Okay.
No, the Korean one is definitely.
He
Yeah,
still
the Korean
bangs
one,
his
you're
daughter,
supposed
though.
to leave feeling very upset.
No, and you do.
All
you
of
still
the
do.
Korean
No, you still
movies,
do.
like did you see?
He
I
still
Saw the
bangs his
Devil?
daughter.
I have not.
Watch that one.
I'll
right.
take
That's
that under advisement.
Right up
I'll
there.
kick that up to the council. See
Let me
what they
tell
say.
you. Chernobyl. It's about Chernobyl, obviously,
Oh,
but it's about something else as well. I've decided after today, after the harrowing experience that I've had with Apple,
Oh.
I've decided that Chernobyl is about something else.
Okay.
I believe
tell.
that Steve Jobs' gravesite is ground zero for the new Chernobyl, and that the karma that he has given off from creating such god-awful, shitty Apple products, iTunes, has now actually giving us all cancer. And that's actually what killed him as well.
Like frustration-based cancer.
Yes.
I hate that. It's no good. Chemo doesn't work.
What is that?
That's his drink.
Oh.
Delicious.
Jesse was telling me
Water.
something the other day about my AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
How I guess
Your tampons.
they only are supposed to last like 18 months
Let's see.
before they take a shit, and then you can't dispose of them because of the battery.
They're not. You can't get the lithium-ion batteries that are in electronics have to be recycled separate from the electronic device
So you
itself,
have to disassemble them.
and you can't. Everything is glued, plastered together. So the only way to get it out is to crack it with a hammer, and if you do that, you'll probably bust the cell. And basically, the whole thing has to go into a landfill.
I can't wait
Like
to
it
see.
goes to anyway. They say you can't dispose of it, but everevery disposes.
I can't
of it.
wait to see the
Disposes of it.
spreadsheet of how many of those ear tampons they find in the landfill. Because they absolutely.
I don't really
will.
care. I mean, they're pretty small. People
They're
just
fine.
throw laptops in the trash.
Yeah.
You've seen those pictures of China where they have the landfills of electronics, and it's just like, oh,
I've
here's
got
a
a-
mountain of laptops.
I'm about to
I've
throw
got a-
mine in the trash.
I've got a 42-inch flat screen in the back of a pickup that's going to the dump.
Guess you can't even give it
Where
away.
else am I going to put it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'd have to. The motherboard went on it, but
if you brought that to
well,
if you brought
Recycle
that to a
electronics.
poor person, they'd be like, eh,
yeah.
nah.
We had some like picture tube TVs that we tried to sell in at a yard sale for like $5.
Nope.
Nope.
I
Yeah,
set
somebody
mine
could be-
out on the sidewalk with a sign that said free. It took
Was
4
that
hours.
fucking you with
It
that
was
giant
me.
TV out in the side?
4 hours and somebody came
Every
picked it up,
time
got it
I
into a
drove
Honda.
by, the other day I drove by that fucking thing and someone had set a goddamn Game of Thrones cup of coffee on the top of it. And I was like, who's this asshole that has
claiming
this
it.
TV out here?
I would love to be the people that decided to get it.
You should have seen him get it into
Like
this little
the
Honda.
level of effort.
Didn't go and help them because I had
It was
by
like a
myself.
CRT TV?
Oh yeah,
Like a big...
yeah, 32-inch
Rear projection thing.
barely would fit into a little sedan, and I'd moved it all by myself before, so I knew this guy and 2 girls could make it happen. But I don't know how they got the 3 of them and the dog and the TV in the car and drove away, but they did. And thank you, random strangers, for taking my free TV and leaving the sign behind like it was trash. Just leaving it. Free TV works great.
That's awesome. So here's the thing. Chernobyl. It's a good show. Today I stand here a grateful man that Steve Jobs fucking died so that he cannot
So he
keep
gives all cancer.
peddling more cancer.
I feel like it's worse since he died.
It has gotten worse since he's died.
I feel like he was like the checks and
His-
Because
balances
he's-
of the
His
company.
Because
spirit carries
he's-
on.
It's because he's ground zero, his grave. Look, he's just like Chernobyl. The lasting effects of his death will be 100 years in the future.
When
We're
iTunes runs
still
everything.
buying that garbage.
When iTunes becomes Skynet.
This fucking MacBook, I hate that company. Garbage. Although I did have an awesome tweet today. I did say, hey, Apple. Hey, at Apple. Your products are fucking trash. And then I said, and I spaced it down a few, and I said, except for my iPhone. That was fine. So I have a MacBook that doesn't work now. I have to take it up to Moscow. Thank God that's up there. It's not an Apple store. It's VGH.
Yeah, they're like a reseller, an authorized reseller.
It's fine.
Trenton Band says, "Hello, Peter."
Hello.
You know,
I've never heard of this person.
Me neither.
Oh,
Trenton.
I thought Trenton was a town.
Trenton.
Are you fucking with us?
B-A-N-N? No.
No, I'm being gently mean to him. He's my buddy. He's my buddy.
That'd be hilarious if you actually hadn't. That was just a
Some
fan.
rando. Yeah.
That's
I
your
don't think
fan.
I have any fans.
I'm your fan.
I have randos that
You're-
said they
you
knew
knew
me
me.
lots of times.
I'm a fan. I want to see some human guides come back.
I don't know
No.
you well.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it.
It's tough.
I know.
It's hard to
It's-
write things.
Yeah.
You know what
Guys,
my
You know, I
Jennifer
was
Love
gonna
Hewitt
do it.
blog
It is tough.
the other day the Jennifer Love Hewitt 9/11 or 911 TV show.
Different
Yeah,
show.
different.
Review that I
The
wrote.
Jennifer
It got the
Love
most heat of all the blogs I've written.
the Jennifer Love Hewitt 9/11 show and the Jennifer Love Hewitt 911 show are very different shows.
Yeah.
One of which I wish did happen.
9/11 them tits.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
Is this
Like a pair of
reference?
747s.
God damn it.
Never forget. Never forget.
No
ladies
more,
and gentlemen.
motorboating. We're twin towering.
The brave
You better write
fire
that down.
department
That time.
of New York City.
And then I got cancer.
Jesus, that's good. Honestly, though, watch Chernobyl. It's good. Do we want to talk too much about Game of Thrones in this episode? Are we all
No.
done? We don't care.
I've
right?
already forgotten about it.
Do we
Was
care?
it just Sunday that it ended?
I stopped caring a long time ago,
When
and
they
now I
started
just
hurrying it
don't
up.
have to even
I'm glad
think
it's
about
over.
it. Oh, a piece of paper. What's this?
It's a piece of pee. It's
It's
paper.
a dead tree. Murderer.
There you go.
No, Game of Thrones is over. It's done. We've forgotten about
Yeah.
it.
I have a hot take.
I was just disappointed as a whole.
All hail Brand the Broken.
Can I give you a hot take?
What's your hot take?
It's a really hot take. Okay.
Steamy.
Dude, steamy take on it. Here's my hot take on Peter, do you want to
Very
hear my
mature, Peter. Thank you.
Peter, do you want to hear my hot take on it? I saw what it was.
Yeah,
from
give me your hot take. Give me your hot takes.
all
Derek.
of it. Okay.
I'll even open my mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's my Game of Thrones hot take.
Heavens to Betsy.
Okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was
But it wasn't.
it was fine.
No.
It ended
No, it was fine. No, I'm with you.
it was fine.
It was totally fine. I don't care.
Look,
That was basically my thoughts on it.
did I not say on the last show? I did call this, by the way. All of you.
Fan service.
Go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
I called it on the show that it would end with a fucking montage of with music. I did say that on the last show. Go listen to it. I said it was going to be like, I did say it was going to be like Adventure Time, you know? Run away with me. And then they would just show a montage of all the stuff. Literally did happen, though. They showed a montage. I actually even said on the show, if you go back and listen to it, I said it's the only way they could save the ending.
What'd you say?
That the only way to save the ending of the show would be to do like a musical montage to try to wrap up some of the loose ends.
Which is all they
Because
did.
everybody said there was no way they could wrap up the loose ends, and I said no. All what they can do is they can do a montage. That's all they can
Yeah, like
do.
scene to
on
scene
it.
to scene to scene
Yep.
to scene.
Very
And they
lazily.
just essentially gave up on any loose hanging plot line. But I mean,
we're not
I was the
talking
same way.
about
My brother-in-law Jason
was fine.
texted me and goes, "He's like, I hated the ending." I was like, yeah, I guess I'm just fine with it. I mean,
I was
feel-
glad it ended.
yeah,
I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I get to have that hour of my life
Sure.
back every week.
I really
Forever.
loved my favorite part.
Never
of the
have to give it away again.
Can I tell you my favorite part of the episode? My favorite part of the episode is
When he pet ghost.
when Arya looks. Yeah, I do like that. When Arya looks at the camera though and goes, "See you next season on my new show where I travel to Essos and past it." Like, come on,
she's not doing that though.
She's
It's been
going
confirmed
west,
it's not
and there's
happening.
nothing west.
it's not happening.
There's not a There's
Oh,
no
yeah, there you
spin-off with her.
Fucking wait for it.
The only spin-off
I-
they're doing right now is the
Is it
super
prequels?
prequel. Super prequel.
Fuck dude, prequels are dumb. I hate that.
But
Yeah,
it's
I'm
so
really-
far removed.
I know how it ends though.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
There's
dumb.
nothing to gain from the prequel because who gives a shit at this point? You know, like you said, you know how it ends.
Even as a kid, when they announced, I mean, like, granted, I was excited because I was still a kid, but when they said, like, hey, they're doing Star Wars Episode 1, 2, and 3, even as a kid, I was like, but we know how it ends. I know what happens to Anakin.
Anakin's gonna be fine.
I never.
Ish.
I never.
gonna survive
I never
anyway.
had any doubt watching any of the. I hate prequels. I know what happens. Why?
At least the Wookiee lived.
Just do a new fucking. Do you see how many
He's
shows?
dead now. For
Do you
real.
see how many? He is though. So
It's
dead.
easier to write a prequel.
Do you
than to
see
just
how many
start
shows
new.
that HBO has
Yeah.
coming out? I'm gonna
So
watch
many
that.
shows.
I'm gonna
They,
watch
like,
that. They don't
just
have to do.
dumped a
They don't
ton of
have to
money.
do it.
I want to watch the Danny McBride one.
Yep.
Danny McBride is like their little golden goose because
Yeah.
every show that
He's
he
better
does
than
on that show.
I also.
Vice Principal's really good
It
too.
was very funny. Did they ever have a second season?
They did 2 seasons.
Okay.
It
I'm
was
gonna
a
watch-
finite 2-season show, which I thought was perfect.
Are you gonna watch Watchmen?
Yeah, I am.
I'll watch it. Are you gonna watch The Golden Compass? Whatever that is. His dark. Whatever dark.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Dark Materials?
Yeah.
It's Dark Materials.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel.
Yeah.
Miranda's in it.
But it's
He was also in House.
it's the Golden Compass though, right?
Lin-Manuel Miranda was in
Yeah,
House.
he was in an episode when House was in the mental institution. He was the guy that rapped. Yeah, and he wasn't good at it.
I never watched
lame.
that show.
He still isn't.
Didn't the Golden Compass?
Is
kill
he a
Mulan?
rapper? I don't.
He wrote
He
Hamilton.
wrote
No, I got
Hamilton.
that. I got that. I know that. But does he rap in Hamilton?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
the
Hamilton.
whole thing is
I like it,
rap.
but
It's dumb.
it's not for everyone. I like it.
It's a musical still.
Most everyone likes
I
it.
like a musical
Oh, okay.
as long as it's not Sweeney Todd.
Okay.
It's wildly popular, dude.
So is Avatar. Avatar is garbage.
Seconded.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
But
there's more coming.
Avatar was wildly popular.
So
Well,
there's
thank
not a musical you like
no,
at all.
I became
just
the
because
musical
something's
guy,
wildly
but
popular
I also
doesn't make it good. A lot of people watch Twilight. That's bad.
see though. But I've been
Wizard of
I've
Oz
been
is
to
a
more
musical.
musicals since I've gone to Hamilton,
Right.
and I still hold Hamilton like up here compared to the. It's just like more enjoyable. But I don't know. So teach their own. I'm going to Hamilton again in 2020.
You know how it ends.
Would you take a really shitty cell phone
Shaky
recording
cell
of it
phone
so I
recording.
could see it?
It's supposed to be they're shopping like an old recording, like Manuel Miranda era recording of it to like a big studio to like
I
a
love the
Netflix or
idea of
something
going to.
that-
I love
Oh,
the
so
idea.
you can actually watch it at home.
yeah.
I love
In,
the
like,
idea of
2020,
going to
2021 or
watch.
something like that.
See, I wish they would do that
Excellent.
with Book of Mormon. I would love to watch that on a movie. I would
That's
love to
coming
see
to
that as a
Spokane
movie.
too next year.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the people in it.
I know.
That's I don't like going to watch. I don't like seeing Broadway plays when they come to Spokane because it's like the fucking
It doesn't have Josh
the
Gad.
20,000th understudy in it.
The guys that did the version that I watched was pretty good.
It's like, it's Hamilton. It's a rap, and it's like just a guy who fucking watched it and is like, I'm gonna audition now.
I like your spunk, kid. You got the part.
Go.
My name is Hamilton, and I'm here to say I'm the hippest, hoppingest president in the USA.
But he wasn't.
You were
accepted.
never president, though, Hamilton.
He's asthmatic.
Oh, fuck.
Asthmatic and bad at history.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sure it's fine, Ward. I was just
No, I
kidding.
know.
I don't care. I'm sure it's
You're just trying to get back at me for telling you that Chris Farley wasn't your all-time favorite actor.
You were, yeah. You
Yeah.
did. You did try telling me that, yeah. I was
He's
too
not?
young.
Yeah, you're too young.
You were gatekeeping Charlie, Chris Farley. You were gatekeeping Chris Farley.
Motherfucking gatekeeper.
He was a gatekeeper of Chris Farley on
That's
the last
shitty.
episode. Yeah.
Not the last
He's
one.
like-
It was the one before.
Well, whatever. They all run together for me. But he's like, you're too young. Well, I was a big Chris Farley fan back in my day. You would have been too young. You with your
12? Because I was 15.
you with your you with your
With your Sims video games.
with your
and
Sims games and your Hannah Montanas.
You're not intelligent enough to understand the nuances of Chris Farley's humor. The heady, highbrow comedy stylings of
Did you know
Christopher
that-
Farley.
of Christopher, fat guy in a little coat, Farley.
Did you know that Christopher Farley starred in a rich satire of Lewis and Clark?
He studied
one of
under
his-
John Cleese.
It was one of his final films. In the
It was his
Christopher-
final film.
I was.
I loved Almost Heroes.
It was one of his. It was the final film of the Christopher Farley film library.
the Criterion
I
Collection.
do believe that it made it to the Criterion Collection. Fucking Ward over here. I love, you know what I've been doing at work lately, that has been funny, is when people talk about a shitty movie, I do say, I'm like, oh, what number is that in the Criterion collection? I've been saying that lately. Like, someone would be like, oh, did you watch, like, somebody would be like, have you ever seen the movie The Pest with John Leguizamo? And I'm like,
have.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I know The Pest with John Leguizamo. Wasn't it like 100 in the Criterion collection? And they're like, what? No.
Didn't John Leguizamo get an Oscar for that?
I'm like, oh my god, I must be thinking of something else. I must be thinking of a different film. Definitely not The Pest with John Leguizamo in it.
Wasn't that the movie that like kind of put him semi on the map?
I think so. I mean, I love that movie.
I thought it was Mario Brothers.
It was.
Did Mario Brothers come before The Pest? Though?
It did though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I
Quite
think
a few
The Pest was probably caught more heat.
The Pest
Then Mario Brothers?
came out. Oh, for sure.
I'm just fucking with you now.
The Pest was fun.
It is a fun movie. Look, you guys, without The Pest, we wouldn't have ever had. No, never mind.
sloth
We've had
from Ice
everything
Age.
we could have. Ooh, yeah. Okay. No.
Too long
the
food.
clown.
Thanks
the
for
clown.
everything.
The clown from Spawn.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows the clown from Spawn is the
Yeah.
best part about that movie.
Sure.
Leguizamo plays
Did
a
you
good
ever watch?
villain though.
You didn't watch the Spawn movie?
I did, but
He
it was
was
at a weird
good.
time in my life, so
It's
I don't
been
really
like 20
remember
years
it.
ago.
It's
Same
actually.
here.
I'll tell you.
I know I've seen it.
It was like I was a
Don't remember
teenager. I was
that.
at some house party or something. It was the same time I saw Pi, the black and white movie
You
about
know what
math.
happens with
Oh,
Spawn
yeah.
for me?
You saw Pi?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. That messed me up a little
I had
bit.
friends that were into weird movies like
Yeah.
that, and they just, oops, I got to turn that down. And they would show me things like that, and it was always at somebody else's house.
And
I
you're
was
like,
always,
Was it Matthias?
no, it's not. Oh yeah, Matthias. He had all the best movies.
Matthias
Boondock Saints.
had great taste in
Fucking,
movies.
he introduced me
Has
to all
great-
the Tarantino shit.
Yeah.
So what? You're getting married like June 8th,
Yes, sir.
June 9th? Yeah, I will be out of town then. I'm going to visit Matthias for his birthday.
No.
Tell him happy birthday for me.
I will for sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Tell
watch
him
MMA
happy
and
birthday.
get fucking rigged.
You know, he needs to come over and come on the show sometime.
Yeah, I will get him down here. The last time he came over was for my birthday.
He died.
No, he didn't die.
I haven't talked to him. I haven't seen him in years.
He hasn't been alive in these parts for 30 years.
He's
He's still married, right?
oh yeah, and they've got a house and they've got a bunch of dogs and birds and
And he does does he still do like LARPing type stuff?
no,
Or-
but he still dresses like a Viking, and he's a probation officer now. So he goes and catches people who are fucking up on probation.
Does he wear
But he's a
the
gorilla.
Viking?
I
Does he
know,
wear
yeah.
the Viking outfit while
He used to do
does that?
LARP stuff.
I don't know that he did LARP stuff
just,
so much. He
uh,
just
he-
kind of
he'd,
like
wear
hung on the
leather
outskirts.
braces.
Okay.
He'd wear the.
So he didn't go
bracers.
do what's the local one called? Belgarth or whatever.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah.
I just
It's usually
hurl
around
ins-
LCSC.
I hurl insults at them when they're in Pioneer Park.
One of
fair
the cool, like, he and his brother had one of the cooler relationships too. Like,
Yeah.
they got along really well. Well, you and your brother do too, pretty well.
It's a
That I
facade.
can, is it?
Which
Ah.
You're like, we're
Ah.
fake.
Oh no, we just Chris grew up and decided that I was cool. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so intermittent fasting. How many beers have you had?
Only one.
Just the one.
No, I'm on the. I have two. I have
Okay.
two now.
So I started doing that last week,
Mm-hmm.
and lost about. I'm probably putting it all back on today
With the beers.
with the beers,
Yeah. It happens.
but I lost like 5 pounds throughout the course of the week.
It does
And I've
work.
been,
I mean, it does work.
riding my bike a lot, thanks to Peter who fixed my bike for me.
No.
Yeah, this guy's blowing records and stuff. He's just cruising around.
Yeah, I'm pissing him off because I'm sending him like screenshots of my bike ride.
I don't
And I
really
don't-
hustle
I'm
when
like-
I'm out. I'm
I'm
just
not
like,
doing
hey,
it
I'm on a bike.
I'm not
I like
doing
the
it to like rub it
breeze,
in.
I just like
the
I'll send him
coast.
like a picture of like I did 10 miles in 45 minutes.
It was all downhill.
Some of it is.
Some of it is, but you don't get that for very long around here.
Yeah, you got to work for the downhill to get the downhill. But because when I go out to like Man Lake, it's like a slog to get out there. But
Yeah,
that
it's
takes-
vicious,
a
but
real-
coming back is
it's
a
a real
blast.
reward coming back.
Yeah.
You get like it's such a like I got
I swear you get like 30 miles
30
an
miles
hour.
an
yeah.
hour coming back.
Dude, your
It's
taint is probably like
so much
jerky
fun.
right now.
I wear
We'd
bike
have to
shorts,
ask Nicole.
and I bought a new bike seat. So,
Is it a wider seat?
no, it's a softer seat. A little bit softer.
Does it have a cup for the balls?
You get to get used to the bike seat thing. Even if you have a hard seat,
Yeah, they say that.
you get used to it.
Yeah.
Or you just don't sit down.
I did.
You become more tolerant of the horrible
I did.
pain.
I
I should say.
I did spinning class for a year, and my taint never got over
recovered.
that. It was just a constant, like, fucking punch to my taint.
Bree, I need you to massage my taint again.
She couldn't because she did it too. She's
Again.
like, my fucking taint hurts too. Then we'd 69 and do like a
Scissor me timbers.
taint massage. We call it the 69 taint massage. Love you, Bree.
Oh, Trenton Band says Westworld. Did you see the Westworld 3 trailer?
Yes,
What do you think?
looks good. I can't wait.
I saw some
I'm-
people with
I'm
mustaches
intrigued.
and guns.
Aaron Paul. Is it Aaron Paul?
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it.
From Breaking Bad?
Yeah. He's in the 3rd season, and it looks like
Horses, bitch.
I kind of feel. It
Where's
looks
my
like-
money, bitch?
They're not in.
It looks
they're not
like
in
they
Westworld
moved out of
anymore. Yeah,
Westworld,
they're
and
not
so
there
the
anymore.
characters came out of Westworld too. So that's my assumption. That's
I don't
what's
know how
going
many
on.
more seasons you can get out of this show. Probably call it quits after this one.
That's one I've actually been interested in watching. I haven't seen any of it, but
It's
The
good.
first season is really, really good.
I
I
love-
haven't watched the second season yet.
okay.
Let me tell you
And
this.
it is really polarizing.
Westworld made Bree and I buy Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Yeah, like we were so we were watching Westworld and we were so into westerns at that point when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. We're like, yeah, fuck it, we're playing this
Let
game.
me ask you this though: have you finished watching Deadwood?
Yeah. No.
You need to because the movie's next
I
Friday,
know.
Yeah. Oh, man.
and we're doing a rewatch right now.
I'm so behind. I think we're on. How many seasons are there?
Just 3.
I think we're done with 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Deadwood's incredible. It
Three-
is one of
three's-
the best
three's a
written
great
shows
one.
ever.
It's still arguable. Like last night, I just got like giddy when we were watching because the writing is just so like Milch writes
I wish
great
Milch,
fucking dialogue.
out of all the HBO people that Disney could have
I
got to
think so.
do Star Wars,
Yeah,
they
you're just thinking of Calamity Jane.
they could have got Milch. They could have got the guy that did The Wire. They could have got anybody, but who'd they go for? They went for D&D, and then they ruined Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going there.
We haven't this whole episode.
So what don't you like about Milch? Why do you do this to me? You do these things.
I just don't know if the dialogue's that great. I mean, they say cocksucker 30,000
And
times
cunt.
per episode.
Oh yeah, but it's so well done.
Is it that well done?
It is
I guess It's
awesomely
like,
done.
sometimes for me, like I don't want to be a prude, but sometimes for me, cussing in a show can be overdone.
It isn't in that show. That is like
I
me
think
talking.
I
in
think
real
it's
life.
okay in that show. I think
You
I feel
fucking cocksucker! I don't know, man. I fucking hate Calamity Jane so much. I hate that character so much. She has not grown on me. She's uglier every episode somehow.
But that's the
Somehow
point.
uglier.
That's the point.
Hold on. What's her name? What's the actress's name?
Robin Weiger.
Hold on, Robin. Hold on. You're doing good in this scene. Can you go ahead and just take a real quick? I want you to blow all of the snot out of your nose for this scene. All of it. Do you mean just
Don't wipe it off.
She's like, do you mean some of it? Do you just some of my mucus? And they're like, no. Robin,
You gotta get all of it.
how much mucus do you have in your nose? Like, how much of it do you have? She's like, I got quite a bit, cocksucker. They're like, perfect. Can you give me that line? But I want you to blow all the mucus out of your nose first.
All of your face.
Oh, I want to see all the mucus. So do the fans. They trust me. There's going to be a guy in 2019. His name's Ward Falk. He's going to be upset if people don't like your snot and cocksucker. And I want to pander to him only.
See, now I want to watch the show.
Deadwood is fucking great.
It is no,
Dude,
you guys look.
yeah.
It's an
Please
awesome
watch
show.
Deadwood so
No,
that you
it's a
can
great show.
Come back and tell Derek how wrong he is.
I'll tell
It's
Derek
a
that
really
he's a
good show.
cocksucker.
No, it's a really good show. Honestly, it really is. I just don't.
You don't like that character?
I don't know if the dialogue's. I think the dialogue's good. I don't know if it's the best.
Oh man,
I think I've watched better.
I haven't disagreed with you so hard. What's better?
Pay attention to it. You got to listen to the.
What's
like,
better
just
in
the way-
dialogue?
Yeah.
Do you want me to list the shows that have better
Top
dialogue than that show? Top 3. Arrested Development season 1 through 3. The dialogue is in that show is Some of the best of any show has ever been
The
made.
master class in comedy.
This is period dialogue, though. You got to consider the language and the way
Oh,
language
don't
evolved.
I want him to go through all three.
Okay, so I want you to build me a time machine. I want you to go back to that time, and I want you to tell me how many times people say cocksucker in that time. I want you to go back and you fucking tell me how many. I want you to go back in time. No. I want you to
If
tell
the
me.
Avengers can do it, you can do it, motherfucker.
This is a period piece. I want you to fucking Ant-Man down and go back in the past, and you tell me how many times people are walking around saying cocksucker.
The only one that says it is Swearingen and Calamity Jane. Really? I mean,
Okay.
that's the dynamic of his
Swearingen.
I'll make you
Well,
a
and
spreadsheet.
Swearingen.
His name has swear in it.
Yeah.
Of course he has to say it.
These are real people.
And Owen Wu says it all the time.
San Francisco cocksucker.
As you're
There's
gonna
got to be some
you're gonna
comedic
keep thinking of
element to
more. You're gonna start thinking of more.
Okay, so
and then
number
you're
two.
gonna be texting
it. Anyway,
me.
number 2.
Okay, so first off, I said Arrested Development.
Seasons
Season
1.
1 through 3. I can't vouch for the others.
Because you haven't seen them, or you just don't think they're as good.
They're not as good.
They're not as good, and I haven't seen all.
I would
all
agree
of
that
them.
they're not as good, but I don't think they're bad.
No, they're not bad.
I think they're
But
acceptable.
It was such a high bar was set,
Yeah.
and they slumped.
I'm gonna go
too
with
much
another.
time.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
another comedy show.
Okay.
Community has far better dialogue.
Community is tasty.
Community has some of the best dialogue of any show I've ever watched. It's very realistic. It's funny. They don't say cocksucker every 20 seconds. No snot. Not all of the snot, Minimized it. Minimized the snot.
And number 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Now he's going to say The Office.
No, I wouldn't put The Office in the top for dialogue because that's supposed to be like a mockumentary show.
Well,
and I don't
and
feel
a
like
lot of
that
it's
you
show's-
situational,
picked
too.
two comedies, and you're comparing it against Westworld, is presumably a drama.
Well,
right?
there's comedy in the show. A lot of comedy in the show. No.
Yeah, but it's not billed as a
Westworld.
comedy.
Deadwood.
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 But there's a lot of comedy in the show, though.
Okay.
A lot of it's meant
But
to
it's
be
not
funny.
billed that way.
No. So
It's dramatic. It's got
Okay.
comedy
there's
elements
drama
to it.
in it.
But the writing the reason I like the writing is just the way. I mean, I'm not a scholar, so I can't put my words together to make the
I don't
sentences
speak words too good, like.
to explain my reasons.
Why use many word?
I mean, few word do trick.
word do.
Boom!
I was watching. We started watching Raising Hope tonight, and I love
Good
that
show.
show. I love it.
Good show.
The
show.
male lead in Raising Hope is in
Derek
Deadwood,
Dillahunt.
and
Yeah,
he
he's in it
doesn't
twice.
only play one
He's in it
character; he
twice.
plays 2 fucking characters, and you have to sit there and stare at him the second time. It's like he looks
The second
familiar.
time I was like,
but,
is that the guy that?
What happened
I
to
wanna
his
give you-
lazy eye?
I want to give you a drama show because I feel like I've given you 2 comedies.
Yeah, I called
so I'm
you
going
out.
to give you so I'll give you a drama show that's
Yeah, hit
better
me.
than that one.
He's gonna say Game of Thrones.
No. A dialogue.
Well,
so actually,
you
if
caveated so you could be like seasons 1 through 6, Game of Thrones. That's what we're going to be
Maybe
talking
1 through
about.
4.
No, I won't because I don't feel like the
And-
dialogue's ever been good in Game of Thrones. I don't feel like it's ever been all that good. It's never been believable.
Come on.
No one's ever
Chaos
talked
is
like
a ladder,
that.
motherfucker.
I mean, like Game of Thrones is good, but they tell a
depends on
story
the
when they're
characters.
talking.
The
tell a story
political
when they're
intrigue
talking.
is what's good about
No,
Game
no,
of Thrones.
and it's a good show. I like Game of Thrones. And I feel like the writing is good, but I don't think we're talking dialogue only. I don't feel like the dialogue's ever been all that great. It's always just been like, yes, that is right. That is why they have all their troops up there.
It
There's
depends on the
50,000
character,
of
though.
them.
Like, I
come
feel
on,
like
you're telling me the
when
story. You're
Varys
telling me exposition.
or
Littlefinger.
Tyrion or Littlefinger are on, the dialogue's gold. If they're in a
Yeah.
scene, the dialogue's good. Even people kind of talk to them differently because they're like, no, this person is smart.
But everything with Kit Harington, it's like McQueen. But
I
she's
think the idea is
McQueen.
he's supposed to be kind
Okay.
of like an idiot who bumbled into this whole thing. He knows nothing.
Okay.
He knows nothing.
this show's a
At the
halvesy.
end of the show, you see that because he just kind of bumbles back out.
This show's
Yeah, exactly.
this show's a halvesy. This show's a halvesy. There's comedy in it, but I do feel like it's other than I still honestly I do feel like Arrested Development exceeds comedy as far as like being like dude, some of that is the best. The timing of the dialogue in Arrested Development is so good, and that's why it works so well. I feel like the best dialogue written show, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the best dialogue like written show is Boston Legal.
I haven't watched all
With
of
the
Boston
Shatner
Legal,
himself.
but I think there's
Shatner,
dialogue in it.
James Spader.
Spader and Shatner is
Fuck,
a dynamic
man.
between the
And
two.
it's so so the show's like funny, and then it has a bunch of serious stuff, and then when you get to the court scenes though, and some of the monologues and that, it's just some of the best written like dialogue pure.
Same
in a
type
show.
of. I think that it might
So
even be
good.
the same showrunner.
You
doing
know
the
why
good
they
fight.
don't say cocksucker on any of those shows is because it's on network TV and not paid subscription.
So
Yeah,
James
they might
Spader
have thrown some
and
cocksuckers
Shatner
in
be
there.
throwing out cocksuckers like
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
not from the writers from that show. Not from the writers from that show.
Cocksucker.
I don't think so.
I can only imagine Shatner throwing down.
He would if he was in.
A
He
lot
would
of
if he was in.
cocksuckers.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I like.
What's up?
Would you like another beer?
Yes.
Peter would like another beer.
Fuck it. I will. As
Oh,
well.
fuck this TF stuff or IF.
You're a monster.
Sorry.
It's all right. I forgive you.
It's only one day a week.
It's Thursday. It's podcast night.
Nope, that's not a rolling rock.
Okay, so
it's Thursday. I like the show.
Holy shit!
I just don't think the dialogues. I think a lot of the dialogue's really good though. I love all the swearing gin and. Oh,
He broke the fourth wall.
you guys are real kind around here. Cocksucker, cocksucker. I just hate that character. I feel like Timothy Oliphant and Ian McShane have the best.
Ooh,
chemistry
Timothy
in the show.
Oliphant's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
like
the main
McShane.
dude. He's the
Oh,
main
yeah.
dude.
Dude, it's such a good show. The other
He
show
teams
that's
up
really
with
good.
Wild Bill at the beginning.
Yeah.
Trenton Band, The Good Place, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine are good. Also, hot take.
Ooh.
I agree with
no,
those.
not
both
a
those
hot
statements.
take. Not a hot take
I like
at all.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
But not a hot take at all. Those are both great shows.
Yeah.
Michael Schur, though, want to throw that out there. That's Michael Schur.
Of
so-
what I've seen of both of them, yeah, they're all right.
Some words
The Good Place
that
is
came
good.
from Martha Plimpton, who is the daughter of
Sounds like a made-up name.
Wild Bill in Deadwood. What's his name? What's the actor's name?
Carradine, Kevin
Keith
Carradine.
Okay.
Her husband is Dillahunt in Raising Hope.
Okay, yeah.
And so Dillahunt, but she doesn't know words well.
You know he's also in.
Does that make him a Luddite?
You know in Raising Hope he's also in. That guy's the one that kills Wild Bill.
That's what I'm saying. We're
Yeah.
talking. Yeah.
Okay,
That was the connection I was making.
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So she says words like philosophical, dramastically,
Yeah.
hereditary.
I can think of like 3 uses for hereditary.
I like it when writers, when they're like, no, this character's dumb, so I'm actually going to intentionally fuck the word up. And it's hard to do that believably. I remember, I'm not sure if anybody's played Borderlands.
Yeah, but I've heard so many people say
what's his name?
supposedly.
Scooter's like, oh, we need to formulate a new strategery.
Oh.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I know what is
believe
Michael
it.
Scott says in the one episode. He's like, it's incalculable. I do. You know, so Raising Hope's fun because the dad in the show, the husband, you know, the older
Dillahunt.
dad, Dillahunt. He's great because he always played a villain in shows and movies.
Yeah, and so
I
he's
love
playing
it.
this kind of Luddite character.
Love
like
it when they take a character like that and they make him so. Like I can't ever watch him as a villain in a thing now because he's so lovable because of Raising Hope. One person that actually did that was Terry Crews in Everybody Hates Chris. That role he plays as like Chris Rock's dad.
Oh yeah.
He's so sweet in that show. And then they put him in like fuck, what the hell is that movie called?
Expendables.
No, Expendables. He's a good guy still, but he's like a badass. There's a show he plays a bad guy with. It's the Gerard Butler movie where it's like a game. He's like a game.
The game or
Gamer?
gamer.
Yeah. Terry Crews is like a bad guy in it, and it's hard because I watch Everybody Hates Chris, and I'm like, I don't know, Terry Crews. You're Cheeseburger Eddie in The Longest Yard. Good movie.
Cloris Leachman also in Raising Hope.
God,
I've
does
seen
she,
so
will she
little
die?
stuff.
She's
always so
in her
lost.
90s now.
I know.
And she's great in that show, though.
She's
but
an old lady
She's in
that
her
everybody
90s
wants to
now,
bang.
but she's been in her 90s for the last
Yeah.
20 years.
she and Betty White, they're like... Betty
They-
White is great too.
I mean, they cast Cloris Leachman as a 90-year-old 20 years ago. I swear to
know.
God.
Yeah, I know.
And she still
But
does
she's
it.
funny and spry.
She has no shame either.
No,
Her and Betty White
zero.
both. No
Yeah.
shame.
What muff shot? I'm down with that.
That's what kind of actor I'm gonna be. Is that when I'm 80,
When you're
I
old.
won't have any shame, so I'll finally.
But she's
make
been
it.
around for years, though. She's been.
But
around
I'll
since,
finally-
dude,
I'll
like the
finally
50s and
make-
60s.
Are you
Same with
looking
Betty
to
White.
become an actor?
Sure, yeah, I will when I'm 80 years old. That's finally I'll be.
When
an
you have
actor.
nothing better to do.
You're not gonna make it to 80.
No.
Jobs has put a stop to that.
Oh yeah, he did. He's the Chernobyl of humans.
He's already given you the cancer.
Every time somebody mentions his names, I picture his fucking smug face on that book cover.
I think of him as the
Look at how
Skeletor.
much of a genius I am.
I sent you the picture of me with me next to him, right?
Uh,
At the Wax Museum.
yeah.
And
He
I
wasn't
sent
skeletal enough for me.
This was pre-cancer.
I prefer.
Then
cancer Steve
I had
Jobs.
the one. There was the one where
Pre-K.
Wozniak's standing there with his hands like this. So I had him like look like he was holding my kids because he looks kind of pedophile-ish.
I'd make it so he's holding my balls
Can you spread him out that far?
in one hand. Come on, man. I'm not 80 yet.
Oh, jeez.
When I'm 80, he's gonna be an actor. I'm gonna be a porn star.
Aren't those the same thing? Just different ratings.
Oh, that makes me feel pretty good. I
God
made you
damn
laugh
it,
so
that's
hard.
good.
He
Hey
didn't
everybody!
put his face away from the mic.
Real quick, you should come out to the NAIA World Series this weekend
Fuck yeah.
because TSPN will have presence there.
Presents,
We'll be there.
And
Give me
cheer on the
presents.
Warriors. They need it. They need all the cheering you can get. 10 seed.
boxes.
Yeah.
I saw that. Tennessee, I talked about it on the show
Hurts.
yesterday.
It hurts.
Bad. I'll be there doing interviews though.
That's gonna be fun.
You're gonna come down and get an interview, Ward?
Am I gonna come down and get an interview?
Yeah.
I don't know.
When's the last time you came to Harris Field, Ward?
Oh God.
When's the last time you watched a baseball game in real life, Ward?
Was 19 in the
wanna
first
interview him.
two.
He's on the
numbers?
spot, dude. He
It's been
can't
like
even
6 years.
Well, that's better than what I thought.
Oh, you're radio testing me, asshole.
Eh,
Dead air, Ward. Dead air.
that's
yeah.
my level of laughter.
I don't
Eh.
care for baseball.
It's all right. It's all right. It's a slow-paced sport, and that's the whole point.
It's much better in real life than it is on TV.
Yeah, I'd say so. You're supposed to make a day of it. You go there with your family, you sit
Exactly.
out, you get a drink, you get your
So-
hot dog. Hot dogs.
A lot of people talk about
$5.
speeding up the. I mean, I know we don't want to like delve into sports here, but a lot of people talk
you
about
see that
speeding
video I
up the
sent you on the
sports.
thing?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
game.
Hot dogs.
Watch us have two conversations on one podcast.
I'm not gonna do that.
Well, we
Sorry.
can have 2 podcasts now because
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
It's like when you watch a porn, but you hear another porn being made like in the next room.
Oh yeah. Or they're watching one on TV, and you're like, oh.
Too meta.
Yeah, way too meta. I
Do
don't
you-
want
do
to
you
know
notice-
that they have something on TV.
They're always watching the porn company that they're doing though. If it's like Bang Bus, they're watching Bang Bus on the side there. Fucking
Gotta stay hard.
subliminal messaging, you know.
Go on Twitter at BangBus. Listen up, cocksuckers.
Listen, listen up, cocksucker. Use Robin Weigert or Wingert or whatever her name is.
You got to get some snot in there. They have a snotty
all
nose
of the snot
emoji.
though. You need so much of it.
So
I like the show, Ward. I like the show.
watch the rest of it. Finish it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, are you a little bit worried that it's not gonna, that the movie's not going to live up to expectations?
It'll be
I
better.
Or are you just
have
happy that we're
no-
getting a movie?
I have no doubt that it's going to knock it out of the park because all of the actors have only got better since then.
Yeah,
I am
that's true.
upset because
Jeffrey Jones and
fuck Jeffrey Jones. He's only a side character, but Bosch, the guy that plays Bosch,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's
Oh, yeah.
not.
Is he too big for his britches now?
no, he was filming Bosch
Yeah,
at the time.
he was engaged, so
He was
can't
filming
come
a
back.
show that no one watches.
as
I watch
Silas,
Bosch. Bosch is a
Silas
good show.
McAdams.
Do
Silas
you?
Adams.
Yeah, Bosch, good show.
It is. It is not bad.
Silas
The,
Adams is a great.
I
fucking
watched the
character.
first two seasons.
Great fucking character.
I'd say the first season and this probably the most recent season are the best two. Second season through the fourth season weren't as
fair.
great.
I know we weren't going to go into sports, but I really want to talk about
Titus Welliver.
Titus Welliver. Bam. Yankee Stadium has an app. You're sitting in your seat. You just type in the app what you want, beer, food, anything, and they just bring it to you. You don't have to wait for the hawker to come by. You don't have to get up and leave your seat for any reason. They just bring it to you.
It's America, man.
Yeah. So after 5 or 6 $16 beers, you stand up after not standing up for 5 or 6 innings, and it's like,
there.
oh, it all hit me. Oh, and then you go stand in the mass of humanity that's waiting for the subway back to Manhattan. It sucks.
So,
It sways a lot.
Jesse was telling me something about this shit called black salve.
I don't even
Have
know
you heard
what that
anything about it?
is. Is that a noun?
No, it's like a skin thing you put on your.
Oh, a mask thing.
Well, sort of.
I think I saw.
Do you see all this facial
video.
hair? It comes off with that stuff. So I don't put that shit on my face.
It was like a Biore strip.
No, I'll read it to you. Hold on.
Do you want to see my Biore?
Ew. I can't believe that shit was in my face.
Keep going, and we'll circle back.
Just wait
We gotta
about all the
get
creepy crawlies that didn't get in now that you took that shit out. Because that's supposed to be there naturally, bitch.
Is it?
That the stuff that's in your face? Yeah, it protects you from other stuff.
I didn't know that.
Do you use Biore straps?
No, I'm a man. Thank you. I'm a man, Rick. I say cocksucker with all the snot in my face.
But that's an it. I mean, Calamity Jane's not a boy. She's not a
It.
girl.
Speaking of it, are you guys gonna watch it?
The It
Goddamn right.
sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
God, the
Bill
preview.
Hader's in it.
Oh, hey, we started watching Barry. So I haven't started watching season 2 yet because I'm letting Bree get caught up because I finally got her to start watching the goddamn thing. So we're watching season 1 right now. How is season 2?
I love it.
Oh,
There's an episode in season
what do you
2.
think?
I'll tell you one thing. I won't spoil anything about it.
Better not. I haven't
It's
seen
a
it
it's a
either.
crazy episode. Bill Hader wrote and directed it.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
And so, and he's the creator of the show, but
Yeah.
this one, it was like his.
I love season 1. So Bree's watching it now. We watched season 1 2 days ago. She loved it though. She was like, "Oh, you're right. This was a good show." I'm like, "Yeah, it was a good show. I was trying to get you to watch it." The
Henry
first time.
Winkler only gets better with age, too.
God, I've heard he's really nice in real life.
I'm sure he probably
I've heard.
Have
he's
you
one of-
watched the show that he's in with Shatner, and Terry Bradshaw?
No,
It's that
I have not.
With
What's
Terry
it called?
Bradshaw?
Terry. Yeah, it's like a reality
The football
show.
guy?
Yeah,
It's God, what is it?
he's in
Let me look it up.
Failure to Launch, bro. He's an actor. With Failure to Launch, you know,
Yeah.
with Matthew McConaughey and his horse.
There's a horse?
And George
I guess
George
I can
Foreman's in
Sarah
it too.
Jessica Parker's in it.
Very well looked up.
He's like,
Matthew Broderick, what were you thinking?
He's a
What were
good-
you thinking?
it's a good SJP.
Fuck.
And he feeds her some carrots out of his hands.
Dude,
oats.
and she takes carrots by the handful.
Yeah, oh yeah. She's the only
With
actress
those
I know.
great big horse teeth and
She's the only actress I know who can eat an apple through a
sloping
chain link
forehead.
fence.
Duh.
she's so awful. God,
But
she's awful.
tell me this though. How old are you?
39.
Spend that word.
Okay, here's a trailer.
Okay.
Well, hold on real quick.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. Tell me this. Would you not bang SJP in the film?
Prescriptions used to
It's
be
in the
really
Criterion Collection. Hocus Pocus.
Welcome
Is
to
that the
Time
one
Step
with
Poorly, where we
Bette
watch
Midler? Met-
Yeah. but
advertisements.
SJP is the
On
young
YouTube.
blonde witch.
Okay. No, I wouldn't.
No,
I would bang Bette Midler before I
Hold
bang
on.
SJP.
are you going by modern memory of SJP?
I can't even think of her in that movie, so
I hate that you have an
can't,
like an acronym for her. Don't initialize it. It's
Horseface. We'll just call her Horseface.
that's okay.
She gets paid in oats.
Ah. Okay, we're gonna watch a clip of
Is
something.
this a K-pop thing?
Those are nuts. These people will do anything, which is right up my alley.
It's such a dumb, but it's hilarious.
Today, we're headed to their morning show, Pond.
Oh, so they're talking about MXP? I miss MXP so much. Or MXC.
Dead air, ladies
She
and
does
gentlemen.
look
I
pretty. Yeah, but
Sorry.
it's tough. That's a tough one.
Oh!
If it was 20 years ago, yeah, I'd have probably banged her because I was probably a virgin and I'd have banged anything.
Buckle up for some good
Not that
old
one. That
fun
one's awful.
Oh, I saw the trailer to this.
no pain.
with the philosopher.
Woman out.
The
Is this
chill
supposed to
pill.
be good? Why are we watching this?
I don't know
The
because no one's
Joker.
watching it.
Where's the music?
I'm watching it.
And the
Where's the
mastermind.
music?
These grandpas
Karaoke?
are cooler than you.
Have you watched this
Better
show?
late than never.
How
New
is it?
episodes Wednesdays at 8:55 on Sony Channel.
Who's the
and
young
catch
guy?
up on Sony.
Like, even if it is fun, it's so low on my list of things to
That's
watch.
for old people
There's-
to watch.
It's a young guy named Jeff Dye. He's a comedian.
That's for old people to feel
Yeah.
young again.
Yeah. I mean, but it's fun to watch.
And they cover all of
They
the...
travel like all over the country, all over the
That
world.
show looks
I would rather
like,
just watch Cocoon again.
Yeah.
Remember that with Wilford Brimley? I watched some Cocoon right now. Put it on in its entirety.
that's what the rest
Stay
of
the
the show.
same age
Yeah.
forever. Never get old.
Okay, so I feel like that show feels like a show that would be on a comedy show as a satire of a show that people would watch.
That's probably accurate.
Like this,
There's some
this
fun stuff
season-
in that though.
Like,
What
you gotta
channel does
watch
it play on?
William Shatner's. What's that?
What channel does it play on?
That's on Hulu. You can watch. it
Oh,
on Hulu.
okay. Well,
But it's
old
NBC.
people don't
It's
know.
an
It's
that.
a
NBC
new
show.
app being used by
But I don't know
teenagers.
if they're doing a third season. They did 2 seasons, and they're like 6 episodes or something like that. a
Well,
season.
if Grandpa's
But
not
they,
into it yet,
they
he's not
blow
going
him
to
out
find
during
it.
the summer.
is
Like they-
Winkler in all of them?
Yeah, he's like the
It's a summer show,
he's the producer of it or whatever.
so it's only competition really. He's like Hank Mad.
It does.
Again, only watched by old people.
Its trailer only has 20,000 views on YouTube.
Ward, I want you to be
I don't know
honest
what-
with me
if
right
that's
now.
The right trailer. What?
I want you to be honest with me right now. Do you watch Hank Mad?
I have no idea what that show is.
I've never heard of it either.
I totally know what it is. No, I don't know.
I've watched so much of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Is it?
It's one of those USA shows.
Isn't everything on USA terrible?
Oh yeah.
What's
Look
the
up
last
I
good
want
show
you to look
USA
up,
had?
No, zero show.
They had some wrestling, didn't they?
They still have wrestling.
Oh.
No.
Look up-
The Sinner.
Oh god damn
Sinner's
it,
on
you're
USA.
right. That's a good
Oh,
show.
is that with Jessica
feel like we're in the
Biel,
weeds.
or
Yeah, and by the way, that show has better
could we be in
dialogue than
weeds? I could really use a bowl right now.
Sinner has better
Heavens to
dialogue
Betsy.
than
What do you want me to look up real quick?
Hank Med.
Closest weed dealer in Idaho. Go across the river, you stupid
Ward,
fuck.
I want you to wait, before you.
It goes to
you-
Royal Pains.
Hold on. No, that's the show. Hold on,
Oh
real quick.
God damn you!
Before we watch any of the trailer or anything, I want you to think of an actor that you would cast in a show that you don't give a shit about.
The Jewish guy from Road Trip.
Okay, hold on.
I know he's in it. I know what show.
Hold
it is.
on.
I know
That guy
No.
from the new kid.
I want you to think
Remember,
of-
he's all gangly. He was in one episode of Breaking
Okay.
Bad as the.
I want you to
the
think of
cop.
every actor ever that you would cast in a show that you don't give a shit about. Okay? In your head.
Okay.
Okay, now I want you to watch the preview for this show.
Oh God.
It's
Is there even a findable preview? We just went through a.
oh,
trailer
they have
experience.
that. Of course they have.
Royal
Royal
Trans.
Trans.
Royal Trans.
Every actor that you would never given a shit about ever. Oh,
Are they all from Saved by the Bell?
Royal Pains
It's in
on DVD.
4:3.
I'm Hank. I was your typical emergency room doctor.
Typical.
Until I got fired. This is my brother.
I'm Evan R. Lawson, CPA.
He took me away from my troubles and to the Hamptons. So I got a second chance to do what I do best.
They want you to be their own personal doctor who makes mansion calls. How awesome is that?
Control yourself.
Mark Feuerstein stars in Royal Pains.
Hey, I'm
His
Mark
name
Feuerstein.
is
I'm like if
Feuerstein?
Patrick Dempsey got the shit kicked out of him.
What?
for being gay.
Don't you, at a certain point when you're writing a show like this, be like, why did I go to school? Why am I doing this? Like, I'm so unhappy right now.
So many
this is not what I
suicides happening
I just
wanted.
want to
writing
end
of
my
Royal
life.
And during the casting.
I used to think I
People
was
get
talented.
sick or hurt. I treat them. You build them. Wow.
This is the life, man.
This isn't your birthday gift. This is business.
USA's new hit series that Entertainment Weekly calls Whimsical Fun.
I love you so much.
Whimsical fun. That's
Remember
how they
Monk?
say.
This came on like about the time Monk was going out. Yeah. Remember how much fun Monk was? This Royal Pains. Hey, you know that show Psych?
You know what would have been really
That
fun?
you like?
That was
I
when it
liked
was
Monk.
ending. That was when
I liked Monk and
so
Psych
did most
too,
people.
But it
is when their
cycle
show.
out.
It's when they're waning. Though it is when they're waning. They did come out during that. It would have been really fun if it would have been like the new hit show that US Weekly calls. Yep, it's a show.
That US Weekly calls acceptable.
Well, this is what Netflix is doing right now. They're just blowing their wad on all
We'll watch
these
it because
bullshit
nothing
shows.
else is on.
They eliminated all the good shows though.
I know, but they're doing some stupid shit.
Who ran Royal Pains? Whose show was this? Whose
It's
monstrosity?
USA Network.
That's USA.
Okay.
Yeah,
And everything on USA is garbage.
except for the center. That's like their only.
I don't
and
think
they
we have
did
to
that.
see the rest of the trailer.
We
do.
do. I only knew the
come
center
on.
existed because Amazon pushed it on me.
Super
Riveting.
Good. It is super good though.
The trailer is.
The trailer for what? Center?
I promise you. It's
Riveting. The trailer is that you're about to press play on. We're going to finish
We're gonna
it.
finish.
Oh my God, I love you so much. I don't even know what to do with myself. I love you too. I was talking to the car.
It's hot summer escapism.
So how does pizza in a shower?
That's
the
funny.
funniest thing there is.
Yeah.
He was talking.
They say
Quit
that.
pausing
He
it.
said-
You're ruining the
Well, no,
comedy
they
timing
say-
of the hilarious.
Like the crust would get soggy.
He's ruining it.
Is there
Ward's
any way that I
ruining
can get a
it.
ride home?
Of course. Call a taxi.
An original USA
Oh,
series.
shut down by the token Indian.
Call a taxi.
My rebellious phase.
Only season
Because
1
there's a
on
lot of
DVD.
those in the Hamptons
Note to
show.
self. Become a doctor.
They
But
say-
he missed the last two words. Become a doctor, bang chicks.
There's
Come on,
no
man.
there's no point in just watching YouTube on a podcast,
That
guys. Come
show.
TV shows and
That
movies
show.
and so
Hold on.
much more.
Royal Pains though is on the
You
same.
can watch YouTube
Hold
whenever.
on. Royal Pains is on the same level as Wizard of Oz, as far as like being a classic like film.
You ever do the thing where
Do you
you're
wanna
like,
know
how
how?
did I get on this thought pattern?
Do you
Why
wanna
am I
know
thinking
how?
about bank heists?
Hold on.
And
Do
you
you
work
wanna
your
know-
way back, and you're like, oh, how
Do
did
you
I
wanna
get to
know
this
how?
point? How are we talking about this show?
Do you want to know how?
Okay, go ahead.
Royal
There's no
Pains.
science to it.
Royal Pains is a lot like the Wizard of Oz in like how classic it is. Well, it's mostly because they have one thing in common. The Wizard
They're
of
both in
Oz. If
color
you watch
for
the
part
Wizard,
of
if you
them.
watch the Wizard of Oz,
You watch really closely, you can see a person
you can see
hanging.
somebody
in the
hanging in the
background.
background. And if you watch,
Royal
if
Pains,
you
you'll
watch
be hanging in the
Royal
background.
Pains, if you watch all of Royal Pains, you'll want to hang yourself from watching it. God damn it, you guys! You ruined my joke.
It took you so long to spit it out.
Sorry.
I thought you were Ward for a
I
minute.
want to build up.
He's been doing so much build up this show.
hurt
I
me.
have 3 shows that are better than
guys.
Deadwood.
You guys,
One.
you guys kept
I'm gonna get to
interrupting
the first
me.
one here in a second, but there's
guys-
3 of them. I have
you-
3 of them. The first one is
Yeah. No, this is how.
it's the first of
No,
3.
that's not true. This is how it went. Ward, okay, you tell me what's your first show that's better than that. Tell me your first show.
Better than what?
Well, then I had to go to the fucking post office and I saw a guy there that looked like he was suspicious. What's the second show?
Did he have to go?
Well, I think that I like Chinese food more than I like Spanish food. That's how this show works.
You say Mexican food, not Spanish food.
Well, no.
Because Spanish food is
Because
way
like
better than
Spain
Mexican.
No,
specifically?
because I
How does Spanish
specifically-
food differ from Mexican food?
Because it's the fancier.
No, but okay, I guess that's fine.
You like
Now I'm interested.
I think Spanish food is more like Italian food, and Mexican food is more like rice and beans.
Okay.
Another show that's good that I think Rick would agree for writing is Justified. Also,
Fuck
Timothy
yeah,
Oliphant.
Timothy Oliphant.
So is
That
show's
guy can do no fucking wrong.
bunch of snakes in that show.
He elevated
The
Santa
show.
Clarita Diet.
They had
do-
6
He's the
seasons
only
of
thing that-
Justified.
Okay.
He's arguably the only thing
Okay.
good about that show.
His comedy chops are epic.
He
Have you seen The Girl
elevated
Next
the Santa
Door?
Clara Diet. He's the only thing that made that show even bearable. That show sucks
I
out
did
loud.
not like Drew Barrymore.
I don't like her in anything. Why do people keep casting her?
She
Why?
Do you guys remember The Girl Next Door with
He's
Emil
great.
Hirsch and
Yes.
Alicia Cuthbert and
That's a
Timothy
good show. We
Oliphant
This is the
owning
second podcast,
fucking
This is
face?
the second podcast has made an appearance on. Girl Next Door is a great show.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Because we were talking about weirdo Paul Dano.
Oh,
That's how I know this has made its appearance on another show. Because we were talking about weirdo Paul Dano.
he is so weird, and he's in so many movies. There Will Be Blood. He's great in There Will Be Blood.
Do you know who Paul Dano is?
No.
He's cute.
He's not cute.
He's a heartthrob.
Can I ask you a question, Ward?
What?
If you,
I drink
Hold
all
on,
your
no.
milkshake.
Can I give you a scenario?
He's like if Brad Pitt put his
I
head in a
give
Coke
you-
bottle.
Hang tight. Let me ask you a scenario. Let's say at night, you heard your daughter screaming in her room because there's a monster.
I hope it's Paul Dano.
I hope it's not Paul Dano.
If you went in there, would you rather see A, it, B,
Dude, you know who
Paul
he looks
Dano?
Dude, I hope it's Paul Dano with the trash
No.
mustache, because that's the kind of
Who's
guy
the guy
you beat to death with a chair.
Rick Astley? He looks like Rick Astley with a rounder face.
We're gonna give you up, Paul.
I feel like we need to make a YouTube video of your
Please,
daughter
help. Heaven
screaming
help.
at
No,
night,
no.
screaming at night, and you go in the room, and you're like, "What's wrong, sweetie?" And she goes, "Paul Dano's looking at me."
With those dead fucking eyes.
He's nightmare inducing.
Yeah.
Do you think on his driver's license it's like eye color? Just blank.
He's
black.
He is an incredible actor, though.
He is,
Oh,
no,
he's really
so
great.
good.
God damn it.
But that's why he's so
But
scary.
he's creepy
though.
as
No,
fuck.
I imagine Paul Dano was a really nice guy, and whoever this guy stole his identity of is a terrifying actor. He's like, Paul Dano was actually quite charming. Hi, I'm Gary. This guy's scary. He's in. You remember he's in the Sunshine. What's that?
Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
And he's even weird in that. He's a kid.
I'd
in
say
that.
he plays a
Dude,
very
Little Miss
small
Sunshine
role.
is
He plays a very
after-
small
Great.
role in Looper, and he's weird in Looper.
He's weird in everything.
Little
He's
Miss
like,
Sunshine is
hey,
his
I'm your
first.
token weird guy.
Did it come out before Girl Next Door?
Yeah, because he played. Ooh.
I don't think so. I
Hard to
think
gauge.
I'm
I don't
right.
know that.
Look it up. IMDb.
Little Miss
Paul Dano.
Sunshine.
Little
and
Miss
Girl Next
Sunshine
Door.
was 2000s.
Don't Google Girl Next Door.
Later 2000.
Look that up on IMDb
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah. Paul Dano, IMDb.
Don't Google.
There's at
Little Miss
least,
Sunshine is 2006.
and I think it's 2004.
Wow.
Girl Next Door. Good for you, Rick.
Holy crap.
We need to play the movie game with Rick.
That's good. That's
All
good.
on your faces.
We should all do a
The movie.
But we can't do
I'm
anything.
good at movie years.
Was
though.
there,
Pre-
was there
98.
anything else we
you and I
wanted to
should
talk
do a-
about besides
Me and
movies?
Rick and I
or-
should do
We'll get there.
competition.
You think so?
Right now, I'm
I
going
wanna
to swing it
talk
over
about Black
to
Salve.
my grandpa. Used to record everything that came on TV on VHS, and he had a library of VHS.
I had an
tapes.
uncle like that.
It's
Yeah.
weird as fuck. But man, if you just feel like watching a movie, you don't have to go to the store. You just go down.
Yeah,
and he
I
had
knew
a
guy
book.
like that.
He had a book. It was all in alphabetical order and where you could find it.
It's just a bit much. Like, did he work for a living or?
Yeah, but it was just a hobby. He'd set the VCR to record when the
Heavens.
movies, or he'd have my grandma do it because grandma didn't work.
I love seeing.
So, like, he would have been really, really prolific in the piracy days.
Yeah.
But just was born a little bit too early.
Way too
He was
early.
like, whatever stuff I can get for free, I want.
I said
Yeah.
that's actually funny that you say
Add
that
it to my
because
selection.
He needed a
You ever had a-
fucking cable line and a really big
grandpa
hard
did
drive.
this.
You ever had a friend who's like a serial pirate?
Yeah.
Like, he will steal, not because he wants the stuff. He's like, yeah, I have every
I have one
language
right
on
now.
a Rosetta
I
Stone.
literally have one right now that
I
does
have
that.
a 14 terabyte hard drive. I have every movie that came out from Paramount. Period.
Let me burn you
All of
some.
them. Yeah.
This
She's like,
didn't
have you
work.
seen these? No. Like
give 'em to you.
1% of them.
Every movie.
I just have them because I can.
Yeah.
I
That's a weird behavior. It's like hoarding, but digital hoarding.
my sister's
So
grand
much more compact though.
my sister's
yeah,
my
I know, but
sister's
still,
grandfather
it
had all
takes a
those
lot of
movies.
effort for them to go through and catalog. And
But everybody's got to have a friend like that.
My sister's grandfather had
Everybody's got a hoarder friend.
Never Ending Story and Willow recorded off TV, and that's the only way I saw those movies forever. Like Never Ending Story, we'd watch it. It was recorded off TV. And I remember he had for the longest time we'd go over to his house and he'd have like season 1 South Park, like just recorded on VHS. We'd watch it, and we're not supposed to, but we watch it. And I remember to this day having Penn and Teller, like Penn Jillette, like doing the narration for Comedy Central. He used to do that.
Right.
Like, up next on Comedy Central, it's 4 boys from South Park, Colorado. And I remember being like, oh yeah, Penn Jillette did that. I got
sure
those
that
VHSs.
wasn't. That almost sounded more like what's the guy's name? Black.
Oh,
Lewis Black.
Lewis Black.
He wasn't big enough at that time.
Not
Not
when South
season
Park came
1
out?
South Park. Not
No.
season 1 South Park. Lewis Black was more like season 2 or 3 South Park.
That's my
Did he
biggest
actually
life
come
regret.
and announce for South Park?
I don't think he announced,
but you're just talking like fame.
But Penn Jillette though did all of the announcing for Comedy Central back in the day.
My biggest life regret, I had the opportunity to see Lewis Black live, and I passed.
That's kind of a bummer.
That's a super bummer.
That's a
I
huge
kick
bummer.
myself to this day, and that was over a decade ago.
That's a shame he doesn't do stuff anymore.
It's probably because he's too old.
People would watch
he's
him
still out there. I bet he's still.
Dude, if frickin' what's his face was still alive, fuck, I can't remember his name now.
That angry style of comedy has got to be bad for your
heart.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah,
I was
because
looking for.
they get worked up on stage. George Carlin did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was
And
gonna
he's
say.
dead now.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
It just you're like, I'm just gonna grind my heart into a fine powder up here night after night after night, worrying about the world's problems and screaming about it. And people are
Is
like,
that what happened to
profound and funny?
And I did get to see George Carlin live, which was fantastic.
Nice.
Oh man, I'm jealous of you.
Yeah, I saw him in Spokane.
Are there still
At the
anger
Fox.
comics, or did that retire with those guys?
Well,
I don't think
it's
there's.
Pound
I don't
Me
think there's
Too
any
now.
more good ones.
It's hard to get into that.
It's a different world now. It's like everybody's a little
way
angry.
Different.
God,
world.
man, every time somebody now,
The
God,
ones,
the George Carlin stuff?
the ones that would call themselves that aren't good. They're not good enough.
can I say?
And they're
Well-
typically they're coming from a political.
Can I
agenda.
hot take you? I want to say the
Carlin
new,
had an
the
agenda.
most recent,
Sure, but
I'm the
it's
hippy
more
dippy
polarized
weatherman.
Yeah.
the most recent Mark Maron stand-up special on Netflix is really good, and I'd say it's
I
the
liked it.
closest
I'm
thing
interested
to.
now.
It's the closest thing to like Angry
to
Man.
that style. Yeah.
Would you like to learn more?
Oh my God, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Would you like to learn more?
Use keyword
George Carlin stuff is
angry rant on.
as
Go back to the bathroom
relevant today as it was when he was doing it.
Yeah,
He could take it and watch it, and it would feel like the same environment.
So that was my only modern example would be that Mark Maron special.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've seen Mark Maron's old stand-up specials. He's not very good.
No, back in the day, he was garbage.
No, Maron had an evolution after his.
I like Maron. I
podcast
don't
started.
think he's particularly funny all the time, but I like him.
But I like him too. But his stand-up's not amazing. His newest stand-up is
good.
really good, though.
you think he hit a stride?
Yeah, I do because he talks. Man, he has this whole bit about this hat. Yeah, we've talked about the hat.
I watched that.
That's
episode.
a good bit, right?
It is a
about
good
the
bit.
hat, like
And-
how he sees. So basically, Peter, he sees somebody wearing like a hat that he likes. It's like a fedora, basically. You can imagine.
Right.
He's like, I see this guy wearing a hat. I really like that hat. And basically, his whole story goes to where he goes out and buys this hat because he sees somebody wearing the hat and he's like, man, that's a cool fucking hat. I'm gonna get that hat. Then he gets it and he wears it for like a day and he gets made fun of and he's like, that's a fucking dumb hat. Then he hangs it up. Like he keeps it hanging up in his apartment for a while and he gets like kind of made fun of for having it up in his apartment. And then it goes to like a box, but he takes good care of his hat for like several months, if not years.
Because I think everybody does that.
Yeah, then finally he takes the hat and he gets so fucking tired of it. He donates it to Goodwill. And then he talks about how some young guy goes in there and buys that hat and then will wear the hat walking down the street. And he's like, that's a cool fucking hat. I'm going to go out and buy a hat just like that. And it's like the cycle. He talks about how he just cycles through that every single time. It's a long, that's a long bit though, right?
Yeah, but it's good.
But I might summarize it in a second. He does that bit for, I swear to God, it's 5 minutes. He gives this hat a fucking story. It's a good bit. Man, it's a funny stand-up special. He's good in it. Watch it. Yeah. For modern angry comedians like that, though, I feel like when I tell people we do podcasts, a lot of them will go like, "Oh, do you listen to Joe Rogan?" And I go, "No, I don't."
You haven't ever?
But
or you
everybody
just don't
listens
generally?
to Joe Rogan.
I don't like Joe Rogan.
What's wrong with you?
Really?
Dude, he's like a fucking musclehead douchebag. I've never liked him.
I wouldn't go that far. I feel like he's a more down to earth. I have appreciation for him. I'm not like his biggest fan.
You listen to him?
I have listened to quite a few episodes of Joe Rogan. He's not like he isn't like the top 50 podcasts that I listen to, but not in the top 20 even.
He's the closest to an everyman that you can find, though.
Yeah, he's
him
pretty
and Adam
normal.
Carolla, though. I mean, Adam Carolla's the same. My problem.
The only difference is he wakes up wicked early and works out wicked hard. If you take that away, he's just a guy.
Well, so here's let me defend a little.
He's phony though. I feel like he's a little bit fake.
Rogan?
I'll have
really?
Yeah.
You haven't listened to enough Rogan.
I want to have one defense. I want to have one defense.
That's who he really
Throw
is.
down with you.
No,
friend.
okay. Well,
I want to have one defense real quick on my
Go ahead,
behalf.
Derek.
Off air,
Defense.
what my problem is.
Okay.
On my behalf, here's my one defense.
I'm better at writing.
I am not a big fan of UFC.
Fair
And
enough.
I'm not a big fan of UFC, and I feel like the majority of fans that watch Ultimate Fighting or mixed martial arts are fucking douchebags.
Total tools. Yeah.
And
no, I'm with you.
Because he has such a huge part of Ultimate Fighting and mixed martial arts, it's hard for me to lower my guard to like him because he's such a douchebag.
You got to listen to some of the episodes where he's not interviewing fighters, where he's interviewing like freaking Alex Jones,
Which is quite a bit.
or like
all his shit isn't just fighting.
all these random people, and
So
he kind of meets them on their level, just like a normal person.
So here's the other half of that. Just like a lot of the people who have told me, like, "Oh man, if you like podcasts, you should listen to
Time spent poorly
to Rogan." A lot of the people who tell me that are also huge fucking douchebags, and I'm like, ugh.
It's a fan
It's
base
one
thing,
of-
but
I know.
if that is how we judge things, then nobody would like Tool, because Tool's fan base is fucking.
They are
ridiculous.
awful, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and so no. I can list several fan bases.
Oh, like
that
you
are
said,
the worst.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty fan base, horrific, fucking horrific. Oh, a lot of Coheed fans, fucking horrific.
Some of them are pretty bad.
But
yeah.
that's just because there's so many people.
No, that's true.
And the minority of people have a voice on the interwebs.
There's been times where I've let a fan base go because of the thing is so well done. So I'll give Seth Rogen. I like that guy. I'll give Rogan a chance because you guys say it and because you guys are cool. There has been times where I've let down my guard enough to let it in. So, for instance, Rick and Morty, the people who told me to initially watch it, I was like, ew, gross. But then when I watched Rick and Morty, I'm like, man, no, those guys are right. That sucks. It's a good show. It's a great show.
Yeah.
So I like the show, even though the fans could do without.
I think I think fake or pretentious isn't the right way to describe Rogan, but I feel I've always had a problem with any show that, and you and I have had this conversation before about doing ads.
Oh yeah, you hate ads.
And so I'm like,
that's where the cheddar is. You gotta pay the fucking bills. And once you build the listenership, you sell like a motherfucker. Because then you get to quit Regents, and you just get to sit here in your office, and then you pump this motherfucker up. Where maybe I don't want to be doing the show right now. I'm gonna go play some ping pong, or I'm gonna play some Rampage on the fucking stand-up. I'm gonna be. Oh, wow, I'm going to go bang that chick and snort a line because we've got all this fucking money.
Yeah.
That's why our show will always be a free podcast.
It's fine to be free, but advertisement is how they get to be free.
I know this. Ward and I differ on
Even
this
the shittiest
on some
podcasts.
level. On some level,
I'm not a total monster, but we've had like long real. I go into like big long diatribes. And
that's why I like the Patreon thing where it's like, hey, if you
I'm
like
not
the
opposed
show,
to doing that, but
if you like the show, donate to the Patreon. Like I like that, although it does feel a little panhandle to me.
This episode has been brought to you by Metamucil.
This episode,
are you on the regular?
Fuck, I wish we could
a
endorse
product
stuff like that.
I would use, but I'm
The
not
thing is, you get to choose what you endorse. It's not like you sign on to an ad agency or anything.
Except for they all use
force
like
it,
Casper mattress, and they
No,
all,
you do
like,
sign
how
on
many of
to
those
an ad
motherfuckers,
agency. It's
like-
MeUndies, Casper
Yeah.
mattresses, Mac Weldon, it's
Sherry's Berries or whatever.
and then if you're Joe
Those are
Rogan,
the people
then
that are
you're
spending
peddling
money.
your own fucking vitamins and shit
Diamond
too.
Dallas Page's yoga.
DDP
He's
yoga.
peddling that,
Fuck,
yeah.
dude, I love DDP
Which is
yoga.
fine.
Is he into? Is Rogan into like DDP yoga?
He advertises it,
Fuck
and he
yeah.
talks
Really?
about it. Yeah, and
Dude,
that's
I've
awesome.
done DDP yoga. It's fucking rad.
It's like Diamond Dallas Page had a second career where he
Bang!
was like, you know what?
where all he did
I'm
was
going to
yoga.
get people healthy and fit.
Speaking of which, dude, that yoga is the shit. By the way,
Is it?
I want to let you.
It's just
episode is-
intense poses. Is that the idea? It's
Well,
like
so
keeping your
basically-
heart rate up
and it-
while doing yoga.
No, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
no,
cool.
It's also, so I have three. I bought this thing. I got like 3 CDs from it. They're great. But it's basically like it's like doing yoga, but you don't feel weird about it. Honestly, like
I
used
feel
to-
like Diamond Dallas motherfucking Page.
It used to be called. So I think he bought a company. Is what happened. So he bought a thing called YRG Yoga, which is yoga for regular guys.
Interesting.
Like he bought that.
Yeah.
So my first DVDs just say DDP YRG. Like yoga for regular guys. Now it's just DDP yoga. But
This makes you
basically,
feel less weird because it
yeah,
doesn't have
he takes
the-
away the more like
spiritual
spiritual
breathing
part
part
of
to
it.
it.
And he's just like, and then he has you buy like if you buy, he has you go get this heart rate thing, and not from his website. He just says you need to buy like a heart rate thing because you want to monitor your heart rate, and like he'll take times during part of it where he's like, you see my heart, he's like, what's your heart rate right now? Should be jacked. And we want to bring it down a bit. Like, dude, it's DDP.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Dude, good for him.
He's sober. He made Scott Hall sober.
Really?
He's the true champion.
We should do
Exactly.
We should do a wrestling show.
We should.
I still think we should do that. I want a wrestling show so bad.
What we need to do is like go through the history of specific people,
Oh, I'd love it.
stuff like that.
One of these days.
I talked DDP for a while.
Oh, 6
I talked
episodes.
Scott Hall for a while.
I just sit here and look back and forth between the two.
So that's why you gotta let other people in. Chris and Ron Jr. They are in
There you
to
go.
wrestling. Like,
Let's do a wrestling show.
we got to meet Victoria and fuck.
Do you
Maybe
guys remember the
somebody
Bushwhackers?
Yeah, dude, the
Bushwhackers,
fucking
back in the day.
bushwhackers.
There's a Polaroid photo somewhere at my mom's house of them. I was a little kid, and they came and did a event here, near here. And
They look like they could be from here, like from a trailer
They do.
park.
Oh, yeah,
in, like,
definitely.
Lehi.
but they're from Australia.
I know.
True story. They have me in a headlock, and they're like,
Dude,
and
that's dope.
it's me as a
How
kid.
is that
and
not
they're like,
your Facebook profile picture?
Yeah.
I can't fucking find
Where's your
it.
fucking Throwback Thursday, yo?
I asked my mom, I'm like, Mom, where is that Bushwhackers
That's
photo?
amazing.
But that was back in the time. It was like Polaroid, so it's somewhere. Like that's the answer. It's somewhere.
That's
Thanks,
so
Mom.
crazy because I have a picture of me with the Legion of Doom holding me up like they're gonna.
Oh.
No, just kidding. That'd be awesome though.
Oh, damn it.
I was thinking same time period.
Good time period though.
So well.
Oh, Black Salve. I got the email to open.
Who's Black Saul?
Black Salve. The ointment that you put on your.
On your
So
face,
I'm
on your
gonna read
junk.
the email from Jessie because I had her put this together for me because she was telling me about this shit, and then we'll look at some pictures.
I've heard it's bad, but I'm.
Black Salve is a product derived from a flowering plant native to northeastern America. It goes by the brand name of Cansima or Cansima. The specific ingredients vary but commonly include zinc chloride, a destructive agent which is corrosive to metals, as well as sanguinarine, a toxic plant extract.
That'll melt my face.
It's made into a corrosive paste that eats flesh, causing ulcers and necrosis. And I had to write this up for me because I wanted like a Reader's Digest version. This is still pretty long. But the basic reasoning, term used loosely by a person using black salve, is I have a bump, mole, pimple on my name your body part. And rather than seeing a qualified medical professional for a diagnosis and treatment recommendation, I'm going to put this terrifying chemical on it that I bought from some bloke on the internet that will leave a gaping hole in my name the body part. The fools who use it think it's only corrosive to cancerous cells, but spoiler alert, it'll pretty much burn holes through any flesh. They track their progress with pictures and accounts of how much pain they have, how itchy the wound is, and how much flesh they've lost. They use black salve without a dangerous they use black salve without a dangerous form of medical professional or diagnosis from a medical professional. Sorry, Jesse. She critiqued me very much about my previous read of one of her emails.
Continue reading.
Yeah.
I have things I want to say, Ward. Finish.
From a medical professional so they can say
better reading.
They beat cancer
Just
without
give it to me.
big pharma. She told me to give it to you. I was like, no.
God damn it, Ward! You have to stop now.
You can Google pictures.
I met Steven Richards and Victoria at the same time. So Stevie Richards from WWE.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It was at
Right to Censor.
a casino thing, and we
Right
were the
to
only
Censor.
real fans there because it was an indie casino, and all the people that got invited were old. So my brothers
Do
and
we
I.
really have to see this stuff?
My brothers and I sat down at a table.
So images
and
of
Stephen
the
Richards
results?
sat with us for 45 minutes and just talked his angle and where he was going. It was the most interesting 45 minutes, almost the most interesting 45 minutes of my entire life. Yeah, because he was just talking shop with a couple of randos.
Oh.
It was really, really fun.
Right to Censor. Stevie Richards.
So
Yeah.
it's like
That
some
was
sort
with
of
JBL.
acidy stuff that you put on your skin that melts a hole in
And
you.
they made The Godfather the Good Father.
Yeah.
You should be on our show, our wrestling
Dude.
show.
Gross.
Coming up.
Stephen Richards.
Oh, no!
What? People put that shit on their face?
Yeah.
It's like anything. Do you remember colloidal
Why?
silver? Do you remember that?
Was
It's
that
any
something
sort
you
of-
ingested?
Yeah, any sort of quack medical product. People will be like, I swear by this stuff. I keep putting it on my face.
Whoa!
They had
that looks
that
like
guy.
a bullet wound.
He drank the colloidal silver so often that he turned blue. And people in the group were like, yeah, Papa Smurf, you're the healthiest guy. And then he died from it.
It's so fucked up that people
So
are
why
looking
are they putting
for
this
a,
on?
for a quick fix.
As a cancer treatment thing.
No.
Yeah, because they're like,
Or to
I
just-
don't want to pay
to
the doctor.
remove something that's unsightly.
Because
What do
doctors don't
doctors
know
know?
anything. They
Yeah.
went to school for 8 or 9 years, so fuck them.
She taunted me, though. She
She
told me
put
this
that
yesterday.
on her tit?
Is that a tit?
And please, no comments to
That's
see
a shoulder,
doctor.
I think.
Oh, look at this lady's comment. I trust in it and my God who is healing me.
My God.
Oh, God.
That's like,
So what did
she's
you
a
get
fucking
taunted about?
anti-vaxxer. Take your vaccines, you stupid
Go ahead.
hard
say it.
C.
Yeah, there you go.
So what did you get taunted about?
No, well, she coaxed me into like Googling images of people.
That's gross.
So thanks for shaving with us.
Yeah.
Turn that off.
Yeah. This guy's like, it's totally working.
No, it's
Totally
not.
working.
So what's it made of exactly?
Bad stuff.
Just a bunch of corrosive
It's
materials.
it's
Zinc
satyr
chloride.
sperm and devil whiskers.
So somebody's like, I have a mole. I'm pretty sure this is cancerous. Doctor didn't tell them that. They decided that. And then they put this stuff on their face. And then it melts a hole in their face. And they're like, it's
fucking
working
witches,
so
bro.
good.
Yeah, it's doing such a good job.
It's made of.
It's eating the cancer all the way to.
All the way to the
Goat
bone.
to
I
my
can see the
bones.
bones, so I know I'm going to be healthy.
It's made of grinded goat hooves and
I
I
didn't know my cancer
Dude, I know
was
how
that
to make
bad.
witch's brew.
That's gross.
I'll curse you, motherfucker. Laugh at me.
That's a really, really great way for me to end my evening here.
It's made of I
Here,
have
look at these
newt and the
pictures of people with
goats
melted
That's why I
fucking
drink.
the
faces.
hooves
I
of
won't
a
remember
goat.
tonight, tomorrow.
And I put in some Johnny
Cheers.
seasoning salt for flavoring.
I just switched from Johnny's seasoning salt to Morton's. Morton's has got good seasoning salt.
Do you mean Laurie's?
No.
It takes me so long to
Morton's?
get through Johnny's.
Morton. You know Morton's the salt.
Yeah,
In
you
Coors,
get
it's
the-
got the
you
little
get
girl.
the
They have their own
umbrella.
seasoning salt. It's good.
I didn't know
Oh, then
that.
it's got seasoning in it?
Yeah, seasoning salt.
Yeah.
It's like Johnny's. It's a little bit heavier, I think, on the paprika. It works.
I mean, we're a
So
Johnny's
use offer
family.
code Morton's.
I'm only at Johnny's Family because it never ends. Seriously, the tub, it never
You
runs
buy
dry.
it from Costco, you get that one that's
Yeah.
this tall.
And you
I
just
think-
have to shake it up because it's become a hard rock.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
for a 10% discount.
I'm pretty sure that Bree and I bought one in the beginning of our relationship that we still haven't gotten through, and I use it in every meal. So fucking explain
You'll
that.
be sprinting out in the divorce.
Fuck,
I
yeah.
don't wish you ill, but
I wish you
will.
well in the
I
divorce.
do not wish you ill.
It's just
Bree,
going to be
I
a
do
little
not wish you well.
dollar-sized hockey puck of hard
Yeah.
seasoning, and they'll have to break it in half.
You don't even have to break it. You just shake the jar and it breaks itself up.
I want half of the
Very
Johnnies in the divorce. I want half of the Johnnies. I want half of the Montreal steak seasoning that we also
And
buy
half of the
from them.
dog,
Play us
bitch.
out.
And half of that dog.
I'll take the hindquarters. We're closing?
Oh, yeah.
It's over?
It's over.
Thank you for spending your time with us because it was definitely spent poorly. Look at these assholes talking about nothing and everything. You can find us on tspn.fun. Thank you, Peter Brill, for being our guest. And Edwardo for being a tool. Derek for being awesome as always.
Oh.
I am your announcer, The Beard. And this has been Time Spent Poorly.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, and iHeartRadio. Find us on iHeartRadio.
Hell yeah! iHeartRadio, Spotify.
Like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Hit the
Smash
little bell.
that button.
Hit the little bell.
Hey, how did you get effects, buddy?
I'll figure this out.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Later.